What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we leave Gotham City and we take a look at an alternate world, and we take a look at 2009's Watchmen, starring Malin Ackerman, Billy Crudup, Matthew Good, Jackie Earle Haley, Patrick Wilson, Carla Gugino, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Laura Manel. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, we're going to take a look at a film that takes place in an alternative United States. And we're going to take a look at the Zack Snyder film Watchmen. And like I said, our movie takes place in an alternative United States, beginning in 1939 during the fading interwar period, as a team of costumed crime fighters is formed, dubbed the Minutemen. From the 1960s Vietnam War era through the mid-80s Cold War, we see the rise of the Watchmen, a team of heroes whose very existence dramatically affects world events. In 1959, after his apparent death in an intrinsic field generator accident, Dr. John Osterman remakes his body as a godlike being dubbed Dr. Manhattan. The U.S. government then utilizes his powers to win the Vietnam War and gain a strategic advantage over the Soviet Union, which by 1985 threatens thermonuclear war. The comedian is responsible for the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and President Richard Nixon wins a third term after the repeal of the 22nd Amendment. As anti-vigilante sentiment sweeps the nation, coupled with a nationwide police strike, the Keene Act is passed in 1977, which declares all costumed adventuring and vigilantism illegal. Now, while most of the heroes, like Daniel Dreyberg, known as the Second Night Owl, and Laurie Jupiter, the Second Silk Spectre, decide to retire, Dr. Manhattan and the comedian become government agents, and Rorschach continues to operate outside of the law. In 1985, while investigating the murder of Edward Blake, Rorschach discovers that Blake was the comedian. Theorizing that someone is eliminating former costumed heroes, Rorschach warns his retired comrades. Dr. Manhattan ignores Rorschach, and Daniel is skeptical, while vigilante-turned-billionaire Adrian Veidt dismisses Rorschach's suspicions. During a televised interview, a reporter proposes that Dr. Manhattan has given several people close to him cancer. As a result, Dr. Manhattan exiles himself to Mars, which gives the Soviets the confidence to invade Afghanistan. Rorschach's suspicions appear to be correct when Adrian Veidt survives an assassination attempt and Rorschach finds himself framed for the murder of former villain Moloch. Arrested and sent to prison, Rorschach is revealed to be Walter Kovacs. He explains his childhood abuse to psychiatrist Dr. Malcolm Long, as well as a turning point in his career as Rorschach. Kovacs explains that he discovered a child kidnapper had murdered his victim and fed her to his dogs. Kovacs killed the kidnapper, and that was when Walter Kovacs died, and he permanently became Rorschach. Laurie goes to stay with Daniel, and they decide to come out of retirement, helping Rorschach break out of prison. Dr. Manhattan probes Laurie's memories after transporting her to Mars and discovers that she is Blake's daughter. He realizes the miracle of her life, which was created although Blake once attempted to rape her mother. They then later ended up falling in love. As Dr. Manhattan and Laurie return to Earth, a gang murders Hollis Mason, the original Night Owl, after mistaking him for Daniel Draberg. Rorschach and Daniel discover that Adrian is in fact behind the conspiracy. Rorschach records his suspicions in his journal, which he leaves at the office of the New Frontiersman, which is a right-wing tabloid. Rorschach and Daniel confront Adrian at his Antarctic retreat, and he admits to orchestrating Blake's murder, Dr. Manhattan's exile, Rorschach's framing, and the attempt on his own life. He explains his plan to unify the U.S. and the USSR by detonating energy reactors in the world's major cities, generating a radioactive decay signature similar to Dr. Manhattan's. Rorschach and Daniel attempt to stop Adrian, but he subdues them and reveals that his plan is already in motion. The reactors have exploded, and the world leaders believe that Dr. Manhattan is responsible for the attack. Laurie and Dr. Manhattan return to a devastated New York City, and after determining that Adrian is in fact responsible, they teleport to his base. Failing to kill Dr. Manhattan, Adrian shows a televised news report revealing that the US and the Soviet Union have united against their common enemy, Dr. Manhattan. Although his allies agree to conceal the truth in order to preserve the new global peace, Rorschach refuses. Dr. Manhattan intervenes and complies with Rorschach's demand to kill him to keep him from revealing the truth. As our movie draws to its close, Dr. Manhattan departs permanently to another galaxy, while Daniel rejects Adrian's belief that world peace is worth the lives sacrificed. Daniel and Laurie return to New York with plans to continue fighting crime, and Laurie reveals to her mother that she knows that Blake was her father. Meanwhile, an editor at the New Frontiersman gives a young employee permission to choose material for the next issue from a collection of Crank submissions, among which is Rorschach's journal. This movie was really, really interesting. I'm not sure why it took me so long to see it. The acting was good. The story was good. My only gripe is that at 2 hours and 40-something minutes for the theatrical version, I felt like it was way too long. I didn't even get into the director's cut. That I'm going to save for another day, another time. But if at 2 hours and 40-something minutes, I felt that this movie went on a little too long, I can only imagine what I'm going to feel at the 3+ hour director cut. Honestly, like I said, that's my only gripe. I felt like the story was good, but with it being as long as it was, I felt there were a few spots that just really took too long to get back moving again. You know, I've said it a couple times. You trim the fat off, and you've got a much better flowing film. And this was a really good movie. I can only imagine how much better it could have been if it had been a little bit shorter. When it comes to my rating for this film, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Again, it was good. The acting was good, but I just feel like it went a little bit too long. And if they had just cut some of the excess composition out, it would have been a much better free-flowing film. What do you guys think out there? If you're watching the premiere, let me know. Leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Whatever you do, though, when you get out there on social media, let's get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and, of course, the ever-popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Review, where we take a look at the often lampooned Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Peter Sarsgaard, Mark Strong, Angela Bassett, Tim Robbins, Tamura Morrison, Jeffrey Rush, Michael Clark Duncan, Taika Waititi, and Clancy Brown. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right back here for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, where we take a look at Ryan Reynolds' second foray into the comic book movie world, Green Lantern. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in for the premiere, leaving your thoughts and comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Likewise, all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there that tune in on a regular basis. Show me that love and support. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time.